Are more moves coming for your Boston Celtics this summer? Brad Stevens, we know, is no stranger to making moves late in the offseason, so could some big moves still be coming for the 25-26 season? We'll talk about that on today's show as new reports have come out from people pretty tapped in within the Celtics organization. Before we get into all of it, though, make sure you are subscribed. Go down below, hit the red subscribe button. It's 100% free Celtics coverage every single day. We upload daily Celtics videos about all the latest news and rumors, breaking news coverage. So if the Celtics make one of these big moves, you know we're going to bring you coverage here at the channel. Live watch parties during the season and into the postseason. Like I said, it's all 100% free, and there's 53,000 diehard Celtics fans that join us every day on the channel. So lock us in, hit that subscribe button for 100% free C's content. Alrighty, so let's talk about what the minor Celtic roster move was. It is kind of having a trickle-down effect through the rest of this offseason. The Celtics did waive JD Davison a couple of days ago. He ended up signing with the Houston Rockets. Shout out to JD, champ in 24. But that move put them under the second apron by roughly around $2 million. Now the roster sits at 14 players, so could there be another move to potentially fill that last roster spot heading into this regular season? Well, Bobby Manning over at CLNS speculated this. He said, surprised this happened so early before camp. Like, he probably would have thought that JD Davison was maybe going to get a little bit more of a tryout here. He said, of course, Ben Simmons' interest has been reported. Charles Bassey showed out at Summer League, and the Celtics had fulfilled 20 out of 21 offseason roster spots. I'd be surprised if something doesn't follow relatively soon. And who knows how major or minor that move could be. But as far as the Ben Simmons stuff we'll touch on here first, Ben Simmons reportedly does not want to play for the New York Knicks, which is one of the 4 teams that were on his radar. The Celtics as well, one of those teams, and the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings. But I don't know how really likely a move for Ben Simmons is going to be. Does he want to play in Boston next season? Potentially, but how much do the Celtics really want him next season? They aren't really eager to go out there and make the move right now. There's been rumors that they've been interested all the way dating back to the start of free agency, but they, again, have yet to make a move even 4 or 5 days after the JD Davison waive. So we'll see if that ends up materializing, but I would hold my horses a little bit. More from Manning here. He said, if the Celtics sign Ben Simmons, they're effectively committing to 15 players to start the year, which they haven't really done in some time. Unless they have a path in mind to further downsizing payroll in September or later, or adjusting the roster, I don't see it unless they love him. So, like, another move would have to be made. Potentially, you have to trade away a George Niang or something like that into a trade exception somewhere around the league, or just trade him for a second-round pick elsewhere, and then you could actually effectively have that real open roster spot rather than filling the roster completely. In that scenario, yes, but who knows? A trade doesn't really seem all that likely here over the next few months, and especially doesn't seem likely in order to open up room to sign Ben Simmons. I doubt that they're really all that in love with him at this point. We know he has a plethora of issues both on and off the basketball court at this point. So with that being said, it seems like it's pretty fitting who he's likely to sign with. The Phoenix Suns and Sacramento Kings, 2 organizations that I would say are being run pretty poorly right now, and then that just feels like a textbook spot for Simmons to go out there and land. He really doesn't contribute the most to winning in his career to this point, so these 2 teams aren't exactly in the driver's seat to be winners next year. So I could see him just going up and putting a bunch of empty stats in lineups where he could actually fit in Sacramento or Phoenix. Now, a Celtics executive said this about the potential roster moves that we could see coming, and really the Charles Bassey aspect of what we heard from Bobby Manning at the beginning of today's show. And he said, considering he got added to our team so late, this was an awesome run for him. No idea if we'll have roster space for him or not, but we'd love to keep working with Charles and see if we can make something work. So Bassey, I feel like, is the more likely option here for Boston if they were to fill up the roster spot, or the 15th roster spot, or make a move and actually go sign a guy. I don't really think that they're that keen on Ben Simmons at this point. If we fill another roster spot, I would rather have Charles Bassey. He's a guy who I feel like is hungry at this point and has yet to really get the proper opportunity in this league. I mean, in the limited time that he's got, he really has been solid, effective around the rim player, good shot blocker, good rebounder. He does a lot of things well, and I would honestly argue that he is a better version of Neemias Queta. But what you get with Queta is the continuity and the relationship that he's had with the organization over these past 3 years and the development that you've invested into him. So I understand not wanting to go external in that scenario for a player that's a pretty similar archetype. But Bassey showed out in the Summer League, man. He was dogging a lot of these teams. Multiple double-doubles to open up his tenure. And this is a guy who was not originally a member of the roster. When they first came out, he was not on there. He joined the team literally like a day before Summer League began, and he was just putting up straight buckets. And honestly, I don't know how much he really belonged in Summer League, to be quite frank with you. Like, this guy belongs in the NBA, and he had another solid showing in his last game with Boston against Miami. He had a block. Don't excuse that 1 for 8 there. He was definitely not 1 for 8. But he had a block against the Heat, 10 and 9. Like, he was putting up some solid stat lines here, and showed that, like, he probably could fill a role on this Celtics team. Like, we know they need rebounding. We know they need shot blocking ability down there. Like, they don't really have a ton of it outside of Queta at this point. But the unfortunate reality is that the Celtics just can't fit it like at this point. Without making another move, like, they just can't. Any signing that the Celtics make right now not only would fill out the roster, and it's something that I would presume that Boston doesn't want to do given the history that they haven't really done over the past couple of years, but it also put them back over the second apron. If you sign Bassey to a minimum deal, it's going to be more than $2 million, and that's just going to put you back over the second apron. So another move would 100% have to be made to clear up some more space in order to bring in a guy like Bassey or even potentially a Ben Simmons. So I really doubt that either of these two moves are made before the start of the season. But look, I would be open to honestly flipping George Niang for a second-round pick and signing Charles Bassey. I know that seems kind of crazy because Niang's like shown he could be valuable in this league, 40% three-point shooter and all that stuff, but I think it's more of a salary, dumping move and further assisting the needs that you have down low in the front court. So it could make sense, but I would understand if people wouldn't want to, basically trade George Niang for Charles Bassey. What do you guys think, though? Will the Celtics make another move this offseason? You let me know down in the comment section what you think. Yes or no? Does Brad have another move up his sleeve? Just 2 years ago, traded for Jrue Holiday in the middle of August. We'll see what ends up happening, but you guys let me know your thoughts down below. We'll get some more Celtics talk in just a moment, but first, hooked up with this awesome deal. Brad Stevens did make that move in August, and what happened? They won a title because of it. Commemorate the good times when the confetti was falling down from the TD Garden and get yourself a 2024 championship shirt for the low, man. This thing's $38. Oh, yeah, wait, no, and now it's $17, and the sizes are running out. Get it at this link right here, chatsports.com/champ sale. That's chatsports.com/champ sale, and I put that link in the comment section and description of today's video to make it easy for you guys. Go down below, click it, and get yourself a really cheap Celtics 2024 championship tee. All right, this came in from an anonymous NBA general manager about potential Celtics trades that could go down this offseason or maybe not. He said, you never know, but the team that they have now is probably the team that they'll have to start the year with. And that's kind of what I was alluding to before. He said they could get themselves involved in some blockbuster, but they're not in a hurry to make that move on Anfernee Simons. And this also matches what we heard on yesterday's show from Brett Siegel, saying that in all likelihood, this roster the Celtics have assembled here is likely the one that's going to start this season in October. And I'm not going to lie, it's not really the prettiest one, but this is what we got right now. Peyton Pritchard, you could argue, could start the season on the bench in favor of an Anfernee Simons, but I think that the duo of Pritchard and White in the backcourt, the familiarity there probably bodes better for the Celtics, and Pritch deserves it, to be quite honest with you. So you got Simons coming off the bench, but obviously JB is going to be running the show here. Neemias Queta, by all accounts, is looking like he's going to start the season as your starting center. And I threw George Niang there. You could throw Sam Hauser or something like that, but I would probably rather have Hauser off the bench as that super sub. So we'll see what all happens there. But this is a projected rotation right now. It is not a very pretty one whatsoever. And this is kind of where I'm at with all of this. I don't think the Celtics are going to make another move because this roster stinks. Brad Stevens has said, yeah, we want to remain competitive, and the new ownership has said we want to throw out a competitive roster. Well, this roster is just not competitive, to be quite honest with you. You have Neemias Queta, Luka Garza, and Amari Williams as your center depth. That is an absolute travesty, and you're going to get killed down low. I mean, you're even your 4 spot is really brutal. You're running George Niang, Xavier Tillman if his knees work, and then Sam Hauser can play the small ball 4. Are we doing Hugo Gonzalez is getting real minutes this year? He couldn't really do much in the summer league, but we'll see. It is really, really rough, and I don't think it can be overstated no matter how much talent Boston has 1 through 3, that the 4 and the 5 is so brutal for them that maybe something is going to have to happen at some point in the season to address it. And that could be in the form of an Anfernee Simons trade. But I don't know. Are they that eager to make a trade super hastily, before even really seeing what Simons can give you? He provides a really, really good archetype for this team when you factor in the offense that he'll be being inserted into. Joe Mazzulla's run and gun, get a lot of threes up. That really favors a guy like Anfernee Simons, but at the same time, he does make $27 million on an expiring deal. You can get off some money and minimize the tax repeater penalties that you likely will face at the end of this season. So, like, it could make sense given that the Celtics might be in a sort of tank situation, or at least facing a missed playoffs scenario. But then the anonymous NBA GM said this, though, about Simons and like kind of the opportunity that he'll have here. He said he's going to be on a team with a different coaching staff, different front office, a whole different system of teaching. And sometimes the situation changes and the light bulb goes on for a guy. That could be the case with him. He is still a young guy, and he's willing to learn. He could come out a better player. Just 26 years old. And this is a guy who averaged 20 points a game last year for, I'd say, a solid Portland Trailblazers team, especially down the stretch. And he's not a great defender. I get it. He's probably never going to be a great defender. Can he buy in on the defensive end? Can he be a solid team guy over there and kind of pick up some scraps, be in the right positions at the right times? Like, that's all I can ask for him on that side of the floor. He's a twitchy athlete, can shoot the lights out of the ball from a lot of different spots out there on the floor, both off the catch and off the dribble. So this is the best situation that Anfernee Simons could be in his entire career. He's not really relied upon as the 1, the 2, or even really the 3rd scoring option on this roster. So I'm excited to see what he can do with a lot of alleviated pressure and kind of easy-ish season. Like, I know it's a contract year, but like there aren't a lot of high expectations for the Celtics or Simons in general, and hopefully the Seeds can recuperate some of his trade value and flip him at the deadline if things look bleak in the standings. What do you guys think, though? Do you believe in Anfernee Simons for this roster? Do you think he could be the starter? Do you think he could be an all-star level player in what could be a wide-open Eastern Conference next season? You let me know down in the comment section, yes or no, if you're messing with Simons. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Just like I told you at the top of today's show, it's 100% free Celtics content every single day. Lock us in, hit that sub button. We'll see you guys all in the next one. And as always, let's go Seas.